This is WCVB sports anchor Bob Halloran, and you're about to witness a signature voice production.
This is world-renowned sports writer Bob Ryan, and you're about to witness a signature voice production.
Longtime sports columnist Bob Ryan came to the Canton Public Library to promote his latest book, Scribe, My Life in Sports. Tons of people showed up to this event and gained valuable knowledge on his book. Later, Ryan took questions from the audience.
Just ask him who's going to guard McHale, and don't listen to him if he says Rodman. Although I respect Rodman, but he can't guard McHale. All right.
After the event, Ryan was kind enough to let representatives from a local publication interview him. Bob Ryan's Scribe, My Life in Sports, can be picked up wherever physical and electronic books are sold. This has been a signature voice production. Today we're going to discuss Supergirl, which will be coming out Monday the 26th. So I've been wondering what you guys' opinions are on this television show.
I don't think it'll be good.
Yeah, I really think so.
You guys can't judge it yet.
We haven't seen it yet.
Saying that Wait, it's on the CW, right?
No,
it's
it's
on
on
ABC.
ABC.
Okay, because I was like, if it's the CW, then they have no reason to disappoint us with Superman.
Yeah,
Because they did Arrow and Flash, right?
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Superman's supposed to show up one point in the show.
Yeah, but that's
that's a little weird.
I like how right in the trailer they brought up how like it was like my cousin. Was it her brother or was it?
And they just put like a shadow on his face. He's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, like you see a silhouette and then you see a red cape.
Wonder who
it's the
that
cape
guy
for
is.
my brother.
who that cape is. My brother.
It's the cape for my brother. I'm like, wait, doesn't he need that?
Yeah.
Doesn't he use it
Maybe
as
he
a
gets a
cape?
new one.
As a cape?
Maybe he gets a new one.
He gets a new
Yeah, he gets his
blanket
mom.
that he came to Earth in.
No, he gets his mom to make his costume.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
Grandma
the
stitches
Ken
the
famous
new
like
one.
Clark, we have something to tell you. You actually came to Earth in 2 blankets, so you can give one to your cousin.
Holy!
And then
Just-
no,
You and your
you're
cousin
not-
came in the
like,
same
how you
blanket.
said like
And
You
then
his
came in the
mom-
same blanket.
And then
it's
it's
just
ripped
like-
in half. It's too soon.
No, but I'm excited for it.
I'm
I wanna
gonna
see
watch
it.
the first couple
Yeah,
episodes.
you have to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
I'm definitely gonna watch the first.
Yeah, like Gotham, I'm gonna watch like the first couple of episodes.
Yeah, and then you start crying because Gotham was
Hopefully it's not Gotham.
Gotham's
Gotham's Gotham.
No, I'm just
I heard the
like
third
how
seasons
I watched
might be
Gotham.
good, though.
I watched like
Right.
the first couple of episodes.
Gotham wasn't
I've heard lots of
terrible.
things about Gotham, about how it was supposed to
It
be
just
good.
wasn't that
Yeah,
great.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
Gotham
you can't
wasn't
really have a
terrible.
Batman
It was
show
yeah.
without Batman
But-
actually being Batman. It shouldn't be about Commissioner Gordon.
So it should
Well-
be called Batman because of Batman.
They did but they have started to introduce
have
the
started.
villains.
It's the rise of the villains in season
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's weird though is kind of like in the continuity sense, like by the time Bruce Wayne becomes Batman,
They're all.
they're gonna be all old.
Well, you know, Holopot is old. Him and Two-Face are the same age, definitely.
Riddler is. How old is what's his face? The scientist.
Enigma.
Edward Nygma. He's like 30 or something.
No, I
He's
think
like 28.
Yeah, he's way younger than that. I think he's probably like 25, 26.
Well, that makes him like 50
Yeah,
something.
and Bruce Wayne becomes Batman when he's like
30.
20. Yeah, he's like 30 or 29.
So that makes him.
But that's why he doesn't fight him hand to hand. That's why he's the Riddler. Like he's
That's what makes him kind of a loser too.
yeah, he's
I don't know, Riddler's cool, man.
No.
nah. But they've introduced the Joker too.
So do a lot of
Joker's in
people.
Gotham now.
Yeah, but
Why?
I think you would.
But
You
him and the
have
Joker.
Irony.
without Batman.
Riddler
No, but him and the
there.
Joker are the same age, and Joker's like killed someone, I guess. Right?
You can't have the Joker without Batman.
And to the
I've been
commercial
moving in
break.
then.
To the commercial break. So overall thoughts, Sebastian. What are you looking forward to Supergirl?
I mean, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm just gonna give the show a try.
I'm
If it
pumped.
turns out
I'll
crap,
give
you
it
know.
a try.
Hashtag pumped.
I mean, I
Jake.
can't even get myself to like fully commit to watching any TV, so I'm probably not even gonna bother with this one. But
We'll just tell you how it is.
if I could, yeah, I'll just
If
like
you
kinda-
could
if
watch
I could,
it.
I probably wouldn't be looking forward to it because I feel like
You wouldn't.
I don't like Supergirl in general, so I feel like a TV rendition
mean, she is a female.
What do you think, Jackie? You looking forward to this?
Yeah, of course. Why are you lying?
And Ronald?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna give it a try.
I think it'll be great. I don't know if it'll be great, but I'm definitely gonna check out the first couple episodes. It'll be fun to see, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, are you okay?
No. I really just wish there was a club where I could meet new people and talk about the newest comic books, TV shows, and you know, all the video games and stuff like that. Why doesn't a club like that exist?
There. It's going to be okay. You know why?
Why?
A club like that does exist.
Really?
Yeah, really. It meets every Wednesday after school in Mr. DeVoid's room. It has battle royales where superheroes battle it out in deadly street fights, show and tells, and even read comics in the club itself.
Well, gee golly, that sounds perfect!
That's not even the best part.
Well, what could possibly make it any better?
You don't need to know everything about comics.
Really?
Yeah! There's an actual meeting going on right now.
Sounds great. Can I join?
Of course, anyone can join.
Alright.
Makes questionable decisions.
All right.
Come on in. Anybody's welcome to join the comic
But like
club.
he's still
Cool.
There must be harmony between the players.
So volleyball is a group effort, and you need all places in the court covered, so you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Who usually wins in a fight, a cat or a dog? That's right, we're going to win.
The win happens, it will mean that Canton is now going to be one of the elite teams.
I'm Kevin Praik, and I'm here with...
Mike Albert.
Ian Eladine Ozer.
Now, Ian, can you explain the importance of teamwork in the game of volleyball?
The importance of teamwork, okay? It's a very important thing because each player must fulfill their role in order for the team to be successful within the season and win the game every single time.
Very good explanation. Now, Mike, can you explain what a win over Notre Dame Academy would mean for the Canton High School girls volleyball team?
Oh, yeah. It'd be a huge confidence boost going forward into whatever the playoffs or something like that. Definitely the next game. And I'm sure it would help a lot being, able to beat one of the top teams in the state.
Now, can both of you explain what we can expect to see tonight?
Well, tonight we're going to see great play by both teams. The Notre Dame Cougars being, the #1 team in the state, which is just very hard to be and to sustain that level of play throughout the whole season. We're going to see Canton also give a hell of a fight tonight, and both teams are going to battle it out. I expect this to go to the 5 series,
I agree with you, and I don't think this ends in 3 or 4. I think this is going to go to 5. It's going to be a lot of hard fighting, and it's just going to be a great effort.
I think Canton's going to win because, the Bulldogs all the way. The Cougars are good, but they're not good enough to beat us. I don't care what the rankings say, but they can't handle our fire. That's it.
With?
Hey, Kevin, I'm Chris Corbett from Notre Dame.
Nice to meet you, Chris. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Notre Dame volleyball team?
Sure. They're off to a great start, undefeated season so far. Played real strong schedule so far. Right now everybody's healthy and they're playing as a real cohesive group so far.
Now, can you explain the teamwork that is required in volleyball and what the importance of it is?
Sure, I think the something that differentiates volleyball than most sports is you really rely on the team as a whole. You can't have a single player carry you, and I think the Notre Dame program is very representative of that. That you're relying on a group of individuals all contributing to the success of the program, and that's what you say.
So, what should we expect to see tonight?
You'll see a very cohesive group, a team that will work hard from beginning to end, regardless of the score. A team that functions, doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, but is very supportive of one another, and you'll see them working real hard out there.
Very nice. Any predictions for tonight's game?
Well, I know you guys have a real strong program as well. I know we've played you guys several times over the past couple of years. I'd expect it to be a hard-fought match.
I'm here with
Elizabeth Hamilton, senior outside hitter of Canton volleyball team.
So, Elizabeth, can you explain how practices help the volleyball team in their games?
Well, this week in practice, we've been really focusing on the strengths and weaknesses of the teams that we're playing. So, like tonight, we're playing NDA. We're especially focusing on where their hitters are hitting and where we should line up our defense, different things like that.
Now, you mentioned NDA. What would it mean for the Canton High School varsity volleyball team to get a win over Notre Dame Academy?
That would be a huge, huge win for us. That's they're pretty much number one in the state, and always a very tough competition for us. Big hitters, great defense. It would mean a lot for us to win this game tonight.
Be a very big win. What can we expect from the team tonight?
Tonight, you'll expect a lot of hustle, a lot of great defense. We're going to be scrappy tonight. Big on offense, all around. I hope we have the heart in it to keep going and push through tonight.
I'm here with
Mr. Amico.
Hi, Mr. Amico. So, can you explain the importance of teamwork in the game of volleyball?
Teamwork's incredibly important. There's 6 people on the court, and you have a setter, and everyone needs to know where everyone is, and nobody does it better than this Canton team. They're awesome. And beating Notre Dame today will just make it final.
So that's your prediction? Canton's going to win?
Canton in 4.
Can we expect anything else from this game?
Hopefully there'll be a big crowd here. They've gotten the word out on Facebook, and it would be awesome if a bunch of student body came and cheered them on. There's no other games today, so this is the place to be at 5 o'clock.
I'm here with
Addison Merliani.
Playing the Notre Dame Academy tonight, can you explain what a win over them would mean for this Canton varsity team?
Well, Notre Dame is currently ranked number 1 in the state, and Canton has been doing extremely well. We're a great team, and we've been building our reputation a lot. So I feel like a win over Notre Dame would really solidify our reputation and kind of tell people that we're a force to be reckoned with and help us a lot in the rankings.
What can we expect from the game tonight?
Well, hopefully there'll be a very large crowd because this team has a lot of reputation in the school as being a really good team. And it's had a lot of things in the paper about it recently, and they've really had a good reputation so far. And also, these teams are both very, very competitive, so it'll be a very entertaining game and very suspenseful.
Two schools. 2 games. One amazing venue. Both the boys and the girls compete for pride amongst their peers. And here we go with a high bouncing kick that gets through every Stoughton Black Knight. That was a high bouncing ball that went past every single Black Knight in its path. What a great kick by Thomas Monaco, the former soccer player. The junior with amazing ability to kick the football. Really, he is the best kicker in the past 4 years for the Bulldogs. Stoughton will once again start deep in their own territory. 1:02 left to play in the first half. As he is going off. One running play to another. And Nick Gustafson brings him down around the 15-yard line of the Bulldogs. Nick Gustafson, the senior, with a touchdown-saving run. Christian Hill, number 28, for the Black Knights.
Christian Hill.
On that carry.
Tackled by Nick Gustafson. It'll be first and goal for Stoughton.
It was an over 70-yard run by the Black Knights. Christian broke free from the Bulldogs, much like Wanyman just did to score the Bulldogs a touchdown. So I guess the case of whatever you can do, I can do better. Let's see if the Bulldogs can make a good stop here as we approach the end of the first half. There's 47 seconds left to play in this game.
Timeout, Canton.
And Canton will take another timeout. Coach Bohane definitely loves to use all his timeouts. I'm sure that is what he will do in this game. This rivalry is 90 years old, dating back to 1926. As this year, Stoughton is in, the rivalry stands in Stoughton's favor with 45 wins and 40 losses and 4 ties. Stoughton has moved ahead by beating Canton 17 out of the last 20 games. Last year, Stoughton, who was 10-2, shut out Canton, who was 6-5, 34-0. Well, at least Canton won't be shut out this year. Looking for a win here. Here we go. 1st and 9 to go. As that pile is getting pushed closer and closer to the goal line. And here we go, ready to start another exciting varsity matchup. They're getting more exciting the longer these matches go on. The two wrestlers aggressively start out as the two both go out of bounds. As they both aggressively try to gain position through the grapple, but proved unsuccessful. So we back in the neutral position, and they go up a weight class as the two continue to grapple position, as the King Philip Boyer grabs the leg of his opponent, but is forced to drag him out of bounds, and the score will remain scoreless in this particular matchup, as the two again aggressively grappling each other, trying to gain position and gain some points and put them on the board. The two seem evenly matched so far. The Canton wrestler goes low, but doesn't prove to be effective to him, as he is now in the half Nelson and is now in a full Nelson, but is forced out of bounds. by the King Philip Warrior Amateur Wrestler. So we'll be back in the neutral position with 1:15 left to play in this first period of varsity amateur wrestling action. As the two shove each other off one by one, trying to see who will gain the advantage in this battle of defensive amateur wrestling. The King Philip Warrior forces his opponent close to the advance. They're on the line, the outer circle, and it looks to be that they were just out of bounds. And 2 points will be gained for the King Philip Amateur Wrestler, as King Philip will be on top of the Canton Bulldogs defender to start this next set, as we are still in the first period of play. The headlock is clear on, it was on. The Canton Bulldog defender, it turned into a half Nelson, is now back into a headlock and is now into a half Nelson. The variety moves that is now into close to it. It is now in a half Nelson. He is trying to get control of the other arm of the Canton defender, who escapes back to a vertical base. These two are very evenly matched, perhaps the most evenly matched teams, the most evenly matched wrestlers we have seen all night in this amazing display of action. As the Canton Bulldog wrestler is taken out of bounds as he is thrown by his leg, but is proved unsuccessful, unlike their last matchup that we did see. At the end of the first period, the score of this particular matchup is the King Philip Warrior Amateur Wrestler 2, the Canton Bulldog Amateur Wrestler 1. So to start the second period, green will be on the bottom, and the King Philip Warrior will start on the top, as we here start the second period of action. The King Philip Warrior grabs the left leg of his opponent, but that is a 2 points for the wrestler from Canton, as the leg grab proves to be successful for his second. Is the first successful time that the King Philip Warrior gets points off of the leg lift, and the score will be tied at 3 in this particular matchup, as the King Philip Warrior goes to the sideline to get fixed up by the medical team. So here we are with the Canton Bulldogs Amateur Wrestler getting advice from his coach, as he has performed very well, making sure that he is not pinned in this very evenly matched amateur wrestling bout. Perhaps the most evenly matched of the night. And here comes the King Philip Wrestler back for some more action in this second period of play. Here we go, both players start in the neutral position with the vertical base. And the King Philip Warrior spikes his opponent out of the ring, out of the ring, and gains 2 points in the process, putting him up 5-3 in this particular matchup. 119 lets it go in this period. King Philip will start on top, trying to get a pin onto his opponent. The Canton Bulldog looking to get out of the predicament that he is currently in, which is the suplex position. He has the half Nelson locked onto him, but he is now shoved off of his opponent. And that is a point for the Bulldog, as it is 5-4. And both are shoved out of the circle, and they are forced to be back in the neutral position. 5-4 the score in this particular matchup. King Philip's amateur wrestler is in the lead as we are closing in on the end of this period. The spike down onto the ground uses the King Philip Warrior as he gains 2 points off of that amazing maneuver and into the chin lock. Which is, yes, it is still a chin lock and it is forming, trying to form into a half Nelson, which is one arm pinned behind the back of the opponent, and that is 2 points for the Bulldogs as he is very, very close to a pinning predicament. He almost had a near fall there. That'll be the end of the period with the score 7-6 in favor of the King Philip Warrior. The Bulldogs almost had a pin at the end of that period. And here we go. And Canton will start on top to start this third period of play as they are trailing by 1 point in this particular matchup. They're trailing by 12 in the total series as the Bulldog has the very good clutch onto the neck but is brought down by the King Philip Warrior, who has him in the half Nelson. Actually, he has him in the full Nelson, where he has both arms between the shoulder blade and the arm. He has him through the armpits of his opponent. The Bulldog with the reversal gets 2 points, putting it at 10-8, the total score in this particular matchup. And that is a near fall, and we'll see if that is a pin. Both shoulders are on the mat, and that is a pin. And the Bulldog bench goes crazy for their first pin in a quite long time. And the Bulldogs cut the lead in half of the King Philip Warriors. What great show of sportsmanship, technicality, wrestling, and perseverance by the Bulldogs as they get the pin. And it is their first pin in quite a very long time, cutting the King Philip lead in half.
Hi, I'm Kevin Praik, and we are here at historic Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're ready to discuss the flavor of Atlanta. I am here with the President Emerita, Beverly Daniel Tatum, and welcome to Flavor of Atlanta. How have you been doing?
Thank you. Thanks so much for coming to Spelman. I'm happy to talk with you about this great place.
Thank you. So we are here to talk about the community aspect of Spelman, and I know that it is the 4th ever historically black women's college that was founded in 1924. So can you expand upon how this college came about?
Well, let me just mention that Spelman is the oldest historically black college for women. It was actually founded in 1881 by 2 women who came to Atlanta from Massachusetts. Their names were Sophia Packard and Harriet Giles. And they had a vision for creating a school that would create opportunity for women who had been denied opportunity. They were inspired by the models of women's colleges like places like Mount Holyoke College, which was founded in 1837 in Western Massachusetts, and Smith College a little later, also in Western Mass. And they had this idea that creating a women's college like those here in Atlanta would create opportunity for women who would be empowered through their education and then could empower others. So really from the beginning, Spelman was intended to be a place where women would be prepared for leadership in their communities. And today, 2016, 135 years later, that's still happening.
Yes, and your motto of the school is women that come here make the choice to change the world. And in Atlanta, can you explain how you guys have done it over the past 100+ years?
Yes, our tagline is a choice to change the world. And Women who come to Spelman are often inspired by the women they've met who were Spelman graduates before them. Women who have been teachers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, really barrier breakers of all kinds. One of the things that we take a great deal of pride in is the fact that even in the early days of the college, Spelman women were among the first to go on to graduate school in fields where women were underrepresented, like in the sciences as chemistry professors, math professors, engineers, all kinds of fields. Medicine is one area that we talked about. One of our graduates was a woman named Georgia Dwell, and she was the first black female physician in Georgia and used her education in the early part of the 20th century to provide obstetrical care to women who needed it and didn't have access to it.
So she really jump-started the women's medical field in the state of Georgia and Atlanta in general.
Certainly, particularly if you think about the care of poor African Americans who were denied a lot of access to health care at the time. So there's a lot of focus on community service here. Our students do community service projects. In fact, right now as we're taping this, it's March, spring break, and there are Spelman students who are traveling to different parts of the world. In fact, there's a group of students who are in Bermuda, if I'm not mistaken, interviewing elders, learning about their experiences. Students have done spring break projects in places like Senegal, the Dominican Republic, building schools and providing service in all kinds of different ways.
Can you mention the community service aspect in Atlanta more locally? Because
absolutely, flavor of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about the flavor of Atlanta. So if you look at who's teaching in the public schools here in Atlanta, you will find a lot of Spelman graduates. If you look at who's providing local health care in local health facilities and hospitals, you will find Spelman women working there. If you look in the corporate sector, there are a lot of headquarters here, corporate headquarters, companies like Coca-Cola, Home Depot, UPS, to just name a few, are headquartered in Atlanta, and you will find women working in those companies in very senior levels who've been educated in Atlanta.
Now I know that Spelman is notorious for their STEM programs for 30 plus years. Can you touch on this a lot more?
Yes, so Spelman takes a great deal of pride in the success of our students in the STEM fields, that standing for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That trajectory is one that has deep roots here at Spelman, and we often lift up the example of Dr. Etta Faulkner, who was one of the first women of African descent to earn a PhD in mathematics. She got her degree in mathematics from Emory University, and when she came to teach here at Spelman, she was very focused on creating more curricular opportunities for young women to become ready for graduate school in mathematics, as well as in the sciences. That was very important to her to help build that pipeline. And she was very successful in doing so. Of course, not by herself. Other faculty members were involved in that. But today, Spelman sends more young black women to earn PhDs in the sciences than any other institution in the country.
Yes, and Spelman is the #1 regional college in the South. So can you explain how you guys got such a achievement?
Well, I think it's really just a function of hard work and talent, and also resources. Every school needs resources, and one of the ways that Spelman has been very fortunate historically has been through the investment of the Rockefeller family. When you look at the history of Spelman, at critical moments when the college was just beginning and during its history, there were times when it needed resources, and those resources often were provided, particularly in the early 20th century, by John D. Rockefeller and his family. In fact, Spelman's name comes from that family. Mr. Rockefeller was married to a woman named Laura Spelman, and when the founders of the school wanted to honor him for his philanthropic commitment, it was his suggestion that the school be named after his wife's family, which had a history of commitment to social justice and abolitionism. So that's how Spelman got its name, and we take pride in that history and the commitment to excellence that goes all the way back to 1881.
That's awesome. Now, can you describe the medical field and how you send numerous amounts of people?
Well, a lot of the young women who come to Spelman are interested in health careers, and we know that it's important to have wide representation in the health field. And so we take great pride in preparing those women so that they can be successful and go on to medical school. And so Spelman is among the leading producers of young women who are able to be admitted to medical school and go on to become doctors.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure being able to sit down with you and talk about this historic place. And thank you very much for coming. I'm Kevin Praik, and thank you for watching.
A state where history, art, and film can be found throughout the state. Home to Atlanta, the Hollywood of the South, a place where beautiful scenery and creativity is seen throughout the city. A sight for sore eyes, the state is truly something you absolutely have to experience for yourself.
That early release program, it's just too expensive.
But Mommy, what about the early release programs at the Canton Rec Department?
I've never heard of that program before. Wow, that's really affordable. I wonder if they have anything for your brother. Wow, look at how incredibly diverse and affordable these programs are. So it's settled then. You're going to one of the early release programs of the Canton Rec Department.
here working with Miss Gaspa at Duluth.
I'm working at the fire department. I'm working at Kramer, which is mainly a production company, but they also do events and things like that.
Working at Moose Hill, which is like part of the Mass Audubon.
I'm doing my externship at Dunkin' Brand's corporate headquarters.
I'm the nurse at the Duluth School while I'm with Mrs. Warren.
In college, I want to go into early education, so it's just to get a feel for a classroom before making it permanent that I want to be a teacher. So like, if I came here and I didn't really like it, then I could like try to change my major, but I'm really liking the few weeks I've been here.
I want to get my EMT, paramedic, and go to the fire academy.
In Caitlin's case, she had some interest in emergency services and good fit because that's what we do, and it gives her the opportunity to kind of experience what a fire department does, what services we provide.
In college, whether I wanted to do something in business afterwards or not, and this seems kind of like a really interesting business to get involved in. I've never been involved in any type of production thing before, and I was interested in seeing how that worked, but also seeing the business side of it because I'm going to major in communications, and there's a lot of public relations aspects in Kramer.
The environment has been something I'm really passionate about, so kind of want to look for an externship that was involved with outside and outdoors.
I interviewed her, and she had so many different interests, and she's well versed in so many different areas.
I have decided to major in business in college, so I wanted to be at a company where I would be able to see as much of the business world as possible, and I think that Dunkin' Brands is an awesome opportunity for me because they have so many different aspects of business just in that one building, and I'm hoping to get exposure to as much of it as possible.
Before I did this, I didn't really think I ever wanted to be a school nurse. I thought it was boring, but once I started doing this, it's actually interesting, and I actually get to do stuff, and I see what Mrs. Warren does, so I might want to be one later in life.
I want to make sure that this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to get an early education major and then go into get my first teaching job and just not want to be there. So it's a really good thing to do it now when I still have a chance to change my major and change the way I want to go in life. But as of right now, I really do like early education, so I do want to stick with it.
I want to be an EMT, and this is just a good way to start that process. Mostly I hope to gain the real work experience that comes with working in a business place and having to go from a certain time to a certain time every day and interacting with people who are older than me, who have more experience than me, and just learning from them. I also really hope that I can tell whether this is something I want to do for the rest of my life or work in this type of environment when I get out of college.
I'm not going to major in environmental studies, but I always want to get a certificate in it because I'm going to end up majoring in chemistry, but I want to go in a field that has something to do with on the environmental. Hopefully I'll integrate the natural way chemistry works into environmental solutions.
I'm just hoping that when I'm at Dunkin', I will get exposure to as many different areas of business as possible. I want to be exposed to marketing, to communications, to finance, to advertising, and I'm hoping within this externship I'll be able to find an area that I'm most interested in.
Well, I hope to gain more knowledge on nursing and medical things and really see how kids work and what they need and stuff because I want to go into pediatrics.
It is the fiercest rivalry that has come across these two high schools in nearly a century. And the pitch that was a thud. That was a ear-shattering thud off the end of that bat. My ears are still ringing. That's how loud this thing was. Here comes the pitch to the senior as he fouls that ball off high up into the air and into the
dark abyss known as the Fox behind Gibson Field. Joe has had an explosive day, multiple hits, and multiple times scored. That was his pitch. He is fouled off into the backstop. Bounced off the top of the grade here at Gibson Field and then landed in the Foxborough dugout, and luckily it missed everyone. Finn has struck out 7 people so far in this game.
You okay, Kev?
Most of those people have struck out looking. The Bulldog bench as they jump up out of their seats and are fantastically riled up here at senior night, as it is 2-0 in favor of the Dogs here at Gibson Field. The Bulldogs are doing a very good job so far in this game here in the bottom of the 5th inning, as they have broken the scorelessness of this game, as it is the bottom of the 5th and there are runs finally being scored. As we've had a pitcher's duel for the majority of this game, will be an out, a ground out, and that will end this very game. So the Bulldogs win this game against Cohasset by a score of 7-0. If they win their next 3 road games, they will be into the playoffs. Their next game is against Sharon. The one following that is against Fairhaven, which is near New Bedford. The Bulldogs beat them in the second home game of the season. And the very last game for the Bulldogs this regular season is against Cohasset. Your final score is the Canton Bulldogs 7. The Oliver Ames Tigers 3. For Canton Community Television, I'm Kevin Praik, along with my cameraman Jameson Smith and my statistician Joshua Nix. So long from Gibson Field.
Here's where someone really stands out in the area of broadcasting athletics. This year's recipient started CHS TV production as a shy youngster, and today he is a confident adult. He not only announces CHS sporting events, but he also leads the video production crews. Tonight, we recognize this young man's effort and passion of sports reporting. He is now part of an elite fellowship of broadcasters to have earned the title Voice of the Bulldogs. Let's hear it and have Kevin Praik come on up and do that. The Canton Hall of Fame Committee.
Robert Neil Paliarulo. Theodore Andrew Pavlis. Michael Anthony Cascarelli. Seamus John Pecoraro. Joseph Mario Pecha. Lauren Eileen Paflau. Lucas Wade Vaughn. Jordan Marie Phillips. Maximilian Green Platt. Katarina Maria Polito. Abigail Elizabeth Powers. Kevin Neil Powers. Jason Terrence Powers. Ariana Grace Posnick. Kevin Matthew Praik. Portland Stevens Priest. Jake Douglas Ragusa. Grace Hendricks.
This has been a Signature Voice production.